appreciate you stopping by, I really do. For those of you new to the channel, we are O'Neill Family Farms. We're a family farming operation out in the south central part of Nebraska. I'm usually the only one that you see by the camera because, well, I usually tell people if you want to rob a bank in Nebraska, don't bring a gun, bring a camera. That'll make them scatter like nothing else. Today we're harvesting corn. We're done with all of our soybeans. We're actually almost done with our own personal corn. Then we got a few more custom jobs to do here. You know, in the next few days we should get done with ours. The only problem is we got those replant fields, for those you've been following. We're gonna have to wait on those, so we'll probably go do the custom jobs, then come back and do those to try to let them dry out a little bit more. What made me think of this is we're actually harvesting next to a field that's technically owned by Bill Gates, but it's through an entity, I believe, that he has. I'm not going to name all the names and things like that because I don't want to get everything wrong. I just kind of wanted to make my impressions of these specific fields that we're next to. There's actually two of them that we farm next to. The entity that owns them rents them out to a normal farmer in the area, which is a great guy. We know him. Nothing's, I don't think, too crazy about him. The field that he farms is actually over the hill. I didn't even think about doing this till I got on the west side of the or this field over here. And I got to thinking, man, I should let him know. Give him my hot take on it. So if you can see in the distance, there's a field over there, and it's soybeans this year. Nothing's crazy about it. It's conventional soybeans. I'm empty. We actually even farmed that field probably a decade or so ago when it first got developed. It was owned by somebody else at the time. But yeah, they grows corn and soybeans on it just like we do here. And it all goes into the same channels and elevators, I assume. I don't know if he sent it anywhere. I don't know where he takes it exactly, but I'm sure it goes to an elevator. So what do I think about Bill Gates owning farm ground? Well, for these two fields here, it seems like just a regular investment. When you got trillions of dollars to invest, putting it in some of the farm ground, I mean, you could buy a lot of farm ground. So naturally, you would reinvest it in things like stock market, real estate. Farm ground's a good investment right now, and it's a good investment over time anyway. It's not one of those, you hope you get rich overnight, because you're already rich overnight. So you might as well look at the long term, and farm grounds is a great long-term investment. It's got a good track record of appreciation, and so my take on it, it's just a natural investment for a guy that's got a lot of money. Even if you don't have a lot of money and you have to go borrow some money to buy ground, it's still a good investment, especially if you could have gotten it at that lower interest rate, because that farm ground is going to appreciate, especially if you farm it. Over the years, it'll usually has paid for itself. Now, I'm not here taking giving investment advice, but so what a lot of the rich people do, they're going to take that money that they've made and reinvest it, and that's how they kind of keep getting richer. Is money kind of keeps, it's like Dave Ramsey, the Snowball Effect. It's something that even we do, you know, like land's a great investment to put in. Equipment, not so great. It's going to depreciate. Now you need equipment to farm. That's the kicker, is you got to make that determination. But having stuff that appreciates long term, like farm ground or stocks or whatever, you know, just putting it in the bank and putting it in a savings account really isn't going to keep up with inflation, especially nowadays. So it's prudent to put things into investments like farm ground and stocks, maybe, or anything that you can think of that's got a good long-term appreciation record. But as far as being a Bill Gates apologist, I'm far from it. I always thought it was interesting that he was a huge part of the COVID deal and the vaccinations. I'm like, why are you even up there? You're not even a doctor. You're a guy who developed an operating system, which I get it. People can be multifaceted, but like out of all the people in the world, why is he out there pushing? I mean, I guess he's probably got a lot of sway with when you got a lot of money like that. But I'm sure he's got his things that he's got a vision for. But anyway, that's my hot take. If you kind of want to see more farming videos, especially if you're interested in like what farmers are actually growing out here, whether it be chemicals, hybrids, you know, there's a lot of different things people are concerned about. How your food's being grown and how different things, like how their energy's being grown, or what do we do with all this stuff? Ethanol, you know, what's it do with gasoline, fuel, cattle, beef? Come back, because I kind of show you how we're raising it and how a lot of farms are actually ran by families. Even though they might have a corporation name, it's just a business thing we do. It's not because we want to be called incorporated or LLC or partnership. It's kind of what we are. Still, the majority of us are ran by families. We eat the same things you do, or we buy the same things in the grocery store and things like that. Yeah, feel free to stop in, check me out, or check us out. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. Keep it civil, and we will see you on the next one.